cultivating on your own. Could you do it? To grow, harvest, and process your own food, you will get dirty, put in work, use your hands, and learn new skills to provide for yourself. Learning how to grow, harvest, and process your own food will enhance one's food supply while constantly teaching yourself how to better the process and increase your independence. One way to do this is by gardening. You will have to first establish where your garden's gonna go. Then you can choose if you want to do a regular garden or a greenhouse. You're gonna either sheet mulch, which is a process of 3 to 4 months, or rototill. Then you're gonna choose your plant that you wanna plant, whether it's fruits, vegetables, or flowers. Make sure it's within the zone you're in. For greenhouses, you're gonna pick from a cold frame, which is the smallest and cheapest, attached, which is attached to a building and it can range in cost, and freestanding, which is a complete building and the most expensive. This would be like Hans or Honeymoon Acres. You can grow plants year-round and you're able to control the temperature and light. For both gardens and greenhouses, be sure to control the pests and rodents. Gardening is good for the environment, for both air and soil quality. It's also good for your personal health, both mentally and physically. It can help reduce stress, anger, fatigue, anxiety, and depression. Raising livestock is also part of growing. First, you're going to want to figure out what animal you want to raise and the main purpose, whether it be milk, eggs, meat, or wool. And then, do you want a work animal or a companion? Improvements that you're going to make along the way with gardening are going to be extending the growing season, composting, growing vertically, and encouraging bee use for pollination. Improvements on raising livestock is going to be sustainability, getting the most out of your animals for yourself and others. This would be supporting local businesses like your butchers, 4-H clubs, vets, and feed mills. Livestock have all different uses. Chickens are eggs and fertilizer and meat. Cows, meat and milk. Goats, meat and milk. Sheep, meat and wool. Pigs, meat, and they're also nature's garbage disposals. And honeybees for honey. Livestock is also a profit-making business. The most profitable are chickens, goats, bees, quails, rabbits, cattle, pigs, and sheep. You can either sell the animal whole or just their byproducts. With gardening and raising livestock, you're eventually going to have to harvest. So to learn how to harvest, you're going to do your research, whether it's online, reading books, or just talking to other people. Improvements to make along the way with harvesting are going to be learning to harvest at the right time of the year, so that way you have better quality product and you don't lose as much. Hunting is also considered harvesting. You can do this by either using a bow or a gun or both. It all depends on the person. Each person also has different emotions whenever they harvest an animal. Some show them and some don't. Hunting is done year-round, and different species and different bag limits you can have. You will find all this information on Wisconsin DNR's website under the hunting regulations. The animals hunted have all different uses. The most useful is meat source. But you're also going to learn to know gun safety, and you're going to be helping control the wildlife population. Fishing is also part of harvesting. There are different species and different bag limits that you can keep, and it's done year-round as well. All this information you'll find again on the Wisconsin DNR website under fishing regulations. Fish is known for their omega-3 fatty acids, but they also contain iodine, vitamin D, and are high in protein. It's recommended to eat them 1 to 2 times a week because this will help in reduction of strokes and heart attacks. It can also boost brain health. All fish fish contain mercury, but the least containing are salmon, sardines, and trout. There are many accomplishments gained from harvesting, also known as gathering, by becoming independent and being able to provide for yourself and family. Because of the food supply you have from gardening, fishing, and hunting all year, you'll also have the seeds from your gardening to use for the following year. You can also share what you have in food supply or even knowledge with friends and family. The end game of growing and harvesting is processing. You feel satisfaction while processing your foods because you're able to provide for yourself and your family. And you're able to see what you accomplished throughout the year, which is very rewarding. You also gain personal fulfillment by seeing your own personal growth mentally and physically from all the time, dedication, and hard work you put in for harvesting and growing your own food during the processing procedure. At the end of the year, you'll also be able to see your full supply that you gained through whether it be hunting, fishing, gardening, or even raising your livestock. And once you put it in the freezer or can it, you'll know what you have. There is also cost savings by growing, harvesting, and processing your own food. Just in gardening, you can have a savings of a minimum of $600 with 300 pounds of produce. This amount will vary up and down depending on what you decide to grow and keep for yourself. Just deer hunting alone, you can save up a minimum of $500 with all the meat that you keep from one single deer. This number will either raise or decrease depending on if you get any or if you get more. This doesn't include the other meat from other animals that you've harvested throughout the year. You even save costs on fishing. It's not as much as gardening or hunting, but it's still there. You save anywhere from $15 to $20 every 3 to 4 fish. This amount will increase with the larger fish that you catch and if you catch more. Even though you're not going to see your full cost savings the first year because you have to purchase all your gear and your tools, you will see the savings the following years. Now that you learned how to grow, harvest, and process your own food supply, you can share your knowledge with others about cultivation and the independence you gained. I want to leave you with this final thought. Learning to cultivate takes time and energy, but the rewards are worth all the hard work in the end.